Welcome to my channel Gauri Nemani. In this video, I wish to spell out certain things about my Hindi version of book, my content of many of my books. The theme is learn anything and stay healthy. కుచ్ భీ సీఖే తందరుస్త్ రహియే is the Hindi version. The Telugu version is ఏదో ఒకటి నేర్చుకోండి ఆరోగ్యంగా ఉండండి. Learning process nullifies aging process. In my childhood days, we were staying in Kharagpur. One Kharagpur IIT boy used to come to our house, and he used to look at my father's library. The books would the books were my philosophy books, and it seems they had some philosophy things. He was very exhilarated to see those books, and he used to note those books. And later on, the more what I wish to tell them, this IIT and both IIM boys, if you have not touched the philosophy books so far, I suggest some books. You must go through they must be read before we exit from our lives. They are so important. And actually, in my childhood days, the books are Alexis Carrel's Man the Unknown and The Reflections. Both the books were in my house, and one day, the son of my father's sister, a assistant station master at the Jamshedpur Tata Nagar railway station, he came to our house. He sat for some time. He had a tea cup of tea, and while leaving, he saw these two books on the table. He took one after one. In standing position, he finished the books. He was a voracious reader. And then he said to my father, "Uncle, you often go to Calcutta. I don't have the time to go to Calcutta. I am taking these books. You get another set from the place you get." That is, my father used to get the book from Newman and Co. Calcutta. Especially, I am telling the IIT and IIM boys, if you have not gone through these books, you must go through them. And other philosophy books in my house were Benedict Spinoza's Ethics and the Logic. These two books were Benedict Spinoza, the Spanish philosopher. About him, the version is, one day a man came to Spinoza saying, "I came to know you are a very wise man and you can answer any question." He said, "Go ahead with your question." He said, "I am not getting the answer. How is an idea born?" Then Spinoza said, he took a minute he thought over that, and then he said, "You tell me how this idea of an idea was born." If I was able to, the other man said, if I was able to answer that, I would not have put this question to you. And around in some distance, the mathematician Leibniz was sitting. Leibniz, we know in the limits theorem, that is dy by dx, delta tending to 0, that guy, he was sitting there. Then he said, "This idea of an idea at the outset looks like geometric progression, but it is not. It is continued fraction." In higher algebra of Hall and Knight, we read about continued fraction, not much of use, but is a theoretical interest. I didn't find any use of continued fraction except in this context. So coming back to these two books, The Reflections and Man the Unknown, both are worth reading. You must read them, all of you. So one of my students, I came to know when I was teaching IIT was, then somebody asked me, "This guy is bullshitting. How can he teach IIT when he was not selected or studied at IIT?" That is of no concern. I was a lecturer at Bombay, Directorate of Marine Engineering Training, where some of the students who were selected by IITs, they wanted adventurous life, so they forwent their IIT seat and came and joined here. So that's the way I taught some IIT boys. They forwent their IIT seat, and because they wanted adventurous life, not the 5-year theoretical course and then jumping out of general jobs, so they wanted the marine field. For adventure's sake, they came and they joined. I used to teach them. This is a connection of mine with these boys, because some people were saying, how can, and many of the IIT teachers at IITs, they are not IIT undergraduates. Majority are from other colleges, say Andhra University, because while studying, those who study at IITs, their blood is so much sucked out they don't have any, they are interested in going for the industrial jobs which they immediately get instead of the academic jobs. So they go for those jobs. So they immediately, very few of them come to teaching at IITs. But all other colleges, say other university engineering college, we have the not the weekly system. In IITs, they have every Saturday exam. By Monday, the assessment is made, and the progress is assessed. All internal assessment, right? Everything, that system. And this system, they tried at our university, Andhra University. After 6 months, it failed because they were blaming that fellow failed my daughter, this fellow failed my son. The fighting started. Then they said, our old system, our registered number without name and that system is suitable for us, and they went back to that system. So that was happened. What happened at Andhra University when they tried this internal assessment system, it failed. So only at IITs it is possible because the way they run their system, it is okay for them. And regarding learning anything, at any age, many of the answers I get is, at this age what to learn. That is a very wrong question, because learning has no age, especially when adult education people, they start their ABCDs or AAE at the age of 70s, 80s, those who did not study at all. When they can do start at 70, so those who have studied all along, for them to restart some learning or do some studies is nothing. And many things, while studying, we leave many topics which are interesting, but we don't have that time to study. Now we have ample time, is abundance of time. We can go through these subjects. Say, for instance, in class 9, we had only one chapter on one article on blood circulation. That day we felt like doctors. So I want to, with reference to my medical topics research, I was needing some medical books. So I told my friend at Vijayawada, because there is a medical university there, the possibility of second-hand good books. So I told Vijayendra Rao from Narayanapuram colony to send me one physiology book, because physiology can include anatomy. Anatomy exclusive is for the doctors. So physiology book in engineering text, what happens? You switch on a pump, the water comes out and goes out. But here in physiology, a blood comes out, or in circulation, it goes through various routes. It comes out, say, if we take the starting point as heart discharge, from there it goes to many places and comes back right from the bottom of the toes to the top of the head. So in the route, it takes many courses and many reactions with other things happen, and that is what our physiology system. And it was very interesting, Cutton's book, and many of the new things I found out, especially with reference to my electrotherapy researches. It was very useful, and then only I came to know that cholesterol blood or something, only through the skin, an amount of 3 or 4 liters blood flows. So is a very interesting subject to study is physiology for people, for engineers especially, is very interesting. And I got the book from Vijayawada. So similarly, you can get the book from physiology is a topic. And another topic is a difficult thing is, after 70s, the most important point is, when we research or do anything, I am told by this Google, YouTube, etc. You can take money for research purposes. You can take money from our money lending organizations, L&T, finance, and all those. And when I apply there, the age says 17 to 71. That means I am not eligible. I cannot point out to them. And any other organization, I apply for any loan, they say you are above 70. Any moment you may die, and we will not get back our whatever we are paying you. So this happened. Previously about credit cards also. Previously I had one credit card running from 1997 or so. So this was taken over by Axis Bank. Even though I was above 70, at 76 they offered me a loan of 1.10 lakhs, and I took it for many purposes, including helping one below poverty line student. And the incident that in the Corona days, I had advised that I'm a career guidance guy also. So when I advised her to study medical lab technology graduation course, BSc, she took the course, and at one stage she was unable to pay the final fees. So she asked me, I paid her. She completed the course. I thought after getting the job she might return, but incidentally she fell into love, and she got married to an SC boy. But that was good that Siva would get a very job fast, and if the government job, he will get a fat salary, and at that moment they can get me return my back. But that did not happen because government jobs they take their own time. So that's what happened with that case. So what I appreciated with Axis Bank was they did give me the loan at the age of 76, and I've been paying the installments is running on. So what happens is about this 70 age getting any financial assistance is very difficult, especially even though it is research purpose. Nobody gives. This bank, Axis Bank, gave me. I made use of that. I am thankful to Axis Bank for that. And recently I saw somewhere they were going for some bonds. I recommend to go for people who are interested in investing. If they're looking for investment, they can go for their bonds. And here I don't know anything much about these things, but I'm sure about this is far better than your mutual funds, where they openly say mutual funds investments are subject to risk. This sentence won't be coming because such a risk is not. They take your money and they invest somewhere else, and that is where if they lose, that is what I think they mean that when they say that mutual funds investments are subject to risk, and that goes in small print, etc. Here is an open field. They are going for bonds. People interested in investment, they can go for Axis Bank bonds. This is my recommendation. And other things about learning at this stage, new subjects, new physiology is one subject I told. Other aspects are the medical aspects, especially with reference to learning philosophy books, philosophy and these terms. It is very useful. The knowledge comes very useful. And another aspect is learning any new things, say music. Music learning, once you start, it opens up new chapters. And any new learning, you can compare yourself just born baby. A just born baby looks all around. She has the highest. The baby has the highest syllabus around. World's greatest syllabus starts from her, because whether it is a wall or a door, baby doesn't know. And this syllabus, when the baby goes through, similarly we can. There are so many things we don't touch. Music is one field I embarked on learning, and there are two types. So we have Carnatic style and the North Indian style. North Indian style, when I took the YouTube, so many lessons are there. Now we have the advantage, whether availability of teacher is there or not. In YouTube, we have the ready-made lessons. You can practice them. I went for that lesson on Yaman Kalyan Rag. It was with its alap and repetition by them repeatedly. If you sing 4 or 5 times, initially it becomes Pakkad, Vadi, Samvadi, all these things. But initially it sounds exam, but later on when you go through 4 or 5 times or repeatedly, you pick up and you come on the. And here one aspect I want to say is, for learning you don't have to go to long distances, because once we played, when we entered the C courts in Andhra University, one of my friends said, if I hit the ball, it may go to such a place, it cannot come back. Then they said, it's not that case. Your strength of show is not the case here. You have to limit your power within the lines of the court. That is what the difficulty is. So all learning is within the small spaces. Similarly, music instrument. I'm a fairly good singer, but when it goes to learning, say harmonium, etc. So there, that is where you don't have to do much within the octaves. You have to play the upper note and the lower note and the next note. The differences are so that you practice that. When you practice that, what happens is, suddenly you may pick up just like cycle learning of our days, not the current days. We have the 4 wheels now in the 2 cycles bicycle. But present day child, he doesn't know how to fall. The falling difficulties. In nowadays we use. I learned suddenly cycling by taking the cycle in the upfield and sliding down on the standing on the pedal, and after some days half pedal and then full pedal. Ours was a lady cycle. There was no rod to hold on, only handle, and that was the way. 2-3 times I fell down, but the only way was to go to the up and slide down. So that is the way learning process. Similarly here in music learning, what happens when you are learning, these notes are correctly coming, suddenly there is a fear. Why I am saying suddenly the fear comes. Any new things you are learning, that you are falling into a group of people who are already experts in that, and you are entering a new field of people. And it is so enjoying, entertaining. Hitherto what had been very difficult for you, and you are wondering only. Now you have joined that group, and it is so interesting, and you have a fresh life at least. So learning music that was the North Indian classical, and South Indian classical also lessons are there by Edavalli Kanti, and so many people are there, and you can pick up if you are a fairly good singer, sing along with that, and then the particular notes etc. follows. Go to the second stage. Especially music learning will give you a second lease of life and interest in life. It will bring an interest in life to the extent that now your brain is tuned to a new field. And this harmonium, in my childhood days, there used to be Ram Leela next to our Ram Mandir in Kharagpur. One fellow used to play the harmonium with leg, foot operated. He was. Then after the show, one day I went to him with three friends. Then I told him, next time I see you operating with leg, I will break your leg. And he said, why are you bothered about it? I said, I am bothered. We all of us are. Next time, if I see you are playing harmony with your foot, I will break your leg. Right now, if you want to see my strength, I will show that. No, I will not say. He accepted that. And for this very reason, All India Radio did not allow for many years harmony.